Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Brandon, and welcome back to episode 4 of the Giants Connected Franchise Mode, where we're currently sitting at 3-4 with a chance to get back up to 500 against the Eagles, who are controlled by Dark Knight Damo. We're going to start out on offense, and our very first play from scrimmage is going to be a little dump off to Saquon, who takes it, runs outside, and whoop, makes a man miss and picks up 19. We're then going to go back to him, this time on the ground, where he's going to bounce outside and get into Eagles territory. And then just 2 plays later, he's going to get a massive hole up the middle and get us nearly inside the red zone. On 3rd and 4, he is stopped just barely, 1 yard short. And on 4th and 1, we're going to go back to him through the air, and he's going to get into the end zone, and we're quickly up 7-0. Now out on defense, we quickly get them to a 3rd down, but Jalen Hurts finds Grant Calcaterra for a 1st down, and then on 2nd and 10, looks to go over the middle, but that one is picked off by Desmond King II, who gets across midfield and puts the ball back into the hands of our offense. We start off with another short pass to Saquon, but he is tackled just shy of the 1st, and then on 3rd and 2, he gets the handoff, but is once again brought down behind the line to gain. So we go ahead and take our 3 to make it 10-0. It was then time to see what the Eagles could do on their second drive, as their first play ended up losing them a yard. But on 3rd and 11, Jalen Hurts looked over the middle and found Juju Smith-Schuster, who was able to hold on to it right at midfield. Then on 1st and 10, Hurts stepped up in the pocket, was swarmed, and got sacked. Luckily for him though, on 2nd and 16, he kept it and got a face mask from Kayvon Thibodeau. And on 1st and 10, looked to throw, but I picked that one off with Azeez Ojulari, and we had the football right back. Our offense came out looking to take advantage of that turnover, as McCole Hardman picked up 8 on the 2nd and long, making it easy for Saquon to go up the middle and pick up a 1st. We then found Mike Gesicki outside, who was able to turn the corner, run up along the sideline, and get us into field goal range. Saquon wanted more, found the hole, and ran into the end zone untouched for another touchdown, his 2nd of the day, and we were up by 3 possessions. The Eagles then came out for a 2-minute drill as Jalen Hurts found Miles Sanders, which got me thinking. Every team from the NFC East has a player who was really productive at Penn State. Obviously with Saquon and Miles Sanders, but also Micah Parsons for the Cowboys and Jahan Dotson for the Commanders. Let me know what you guys think about this, as Jalen Hurts once again found Miles Sanders outside. Hurts then threw this one to Miles Sanders again on another out route, but he was just short, bringing up 3rd and inches, or Hurts would go deep downfield to Devontae Smith, who would make a leaping grab to convert. Hurts then took the snap and was looking to throw again, as he went over the middle looking for A.J. Brown, but instead picked off by Xavier McKinney, who was able to get to the sideline, run past a couple of O-linemen, and had just one man to beat, but he was tracked down by Juju Smith-Schuster in the red zone, and we had another great opportunity to score. We started off with another dump off to Saquon, who was able to make a man or 2 miss to bring up 3rd and short, but he was met in the backfield, which brought up 4th and 3, and we just took our points to make it 20-0. I expected that to be the score going into halftime, but with just 28 seconds left, Jalen Hurts threw this one over the middle and was again picked off by Xavier McKinney at midfield. And after Saquon had a nice catch and run to get us into field goal range, we kicked it and went up 23-0 at halftime. The Eagles started out the 3rd quarter with a bit of trickery on the end around to A.J. Brown, who picked up 8. But when they tried to do the exact same thing the very next play, I met them in the backfield and got the tackle for loss, and Miles Sanders was stopped just short on 3rd and 3. And when they went for it on 4th and 1, Jalen Hurts threw that one and was once again picked off by Xavier McKinney, who saw it coming all the way and was having an absolutely monster day, putting the ball right back in the hands of our offense. Our offense then wasted no time as Jacoby Brissett found McCole Hardman, having nobody within 20 yards of him, and we went up by a score of 30-0. Now down 30, the Eagles offense came back out onto the field and took to the skies, with Jalen Hurts finding Devontae Smith down the seam and then checking it down to Miles Sanders for 10. Then on 3rd and 9, A.J. Brown did a good job coming back to the ball, making the catch, and making a few guys miss to pick up the first. Then on 2nd and 10, Jalen Hurts scrambled to his left, got outside of the pocket, past the line of scrimmage, and would go all the way into the end zone for a 22-yard touchdown, and the Eagles were on the board. They would end up going for 2, where Juju Smith-Schuster took this end around and got into the end zone to make it 30-8. Our plan on offense was the same as always, though, as we handed it off to Saquon, who was able to get outside for the first. And then on 3rd and 5, we found Mike Gesicki, who was able to pick it up and then fight for a couple of hard extra yards. On 3rd and 14, though, we were looking for DeAndre Carter, but he couldn't hang on to it, and we sent Graham Gano out to kick a 53-yard field goal and make the score 33-8. When the Eagles came back out on offense, they decided to pick up right where they left off, as Jalen Hurts was finding his receivers both on the sideline and over the middle for big yards. Then on 2nd and 8, they came out bunch right, and Jalen Hurts threw that one deep into the end zone, and it was caught by Quez Watkins for the touchdown. They then went right back to him for the 2-point conversion, and he converted, making the score 33-16. We then came back out on offense with a chance to close out the game, which didn't start out so well, but on 4th and 4, Jacoby Brissett found Darius Slayton for a first, and we kept the drive moving. On 3rd and 8, we found DeAndre Carter, who was once again short, and as the Eagles called their timeout, we looked over the middle and found Mike Gesicki for another first across midfield. We then had one final nice run to the outside with Saquon, and I thought I might break it putting on a nifty move there, but I was brought down. We avoided any miracle at the Meadowlands situation, and that is your ball game. The Giants beat the Eagles by a final score of 33-16, thanks to another great day by Saquon, and a huge shout out to my opponent, Dark Knight Damo, as the Giants were once again at 500. The very next week, we had yet another user matchup, with this one against Jermaine17, who was struggling a little bit at 1-8 with the Miami Dolphins, but we know that anything can happen in this franchise, and we were ready to take care of business in beautiful Miami. The Dolphins started out on offense and began to establish their passing game as Tua Tagovailoa was finding his receivers wide open over the middle and getting good yards. On 1st and 10, he was looking for Durham Smythe, but instead found Adoree Jackson, and he would pick it off and go all the way into the end zone untouched, and we had a great start at 7-0. When the Dolphins came back out on offense, things didn't go much better as Tagovailoa once again found Adoree Jackson, and our offense was in great field position, and we started off with Saquon doing Saquon things and getting us some good yardage. Then on 3rd and 3, we found Mike Gesicki over the middle to get us inside the red zone, but on 3rd and 8, he was able to make this catch but stopped just short, and we took our 3 to go up 10-0. When the Dolphins came back out on offense, they decided to stick with the passing attack, and it was working for them, as Tagovailoa was able to find Cedric Wilson Jr. over the middle 2 plays in a row, and then on 2nd and 10, he threw this one over my head and into Tyreek Hill's hands as he would get the touchdown, and then the 2-point conversion when they would go for it to make it 10-8. It was now time to see what our offense could do with a full drive, and Saquon started off great, throwing a man off of him, and then taking advantage of the gaps in the running game. On 3rd and 10, we looked and found Mike Gesicki over the middle, who barreled forward to pick up a first, and after that, it was just give the ball to Saquon and watch him go as he put on an absolute masterclass of running the ball and picking up yards. On this play, he was stopped just short of the first, but on 4th and inches, he got the ball and dove into the end zone, and we once again had a 2-possession lead. I thought that might be the score going into halftime, but the Dolphins decided to play aggressive, and it backfired as Desmond King got a pick here, which set us up in prime position to add another 3 points onto our lead. My plan on offense for the second half was initially to come out and be a little bit conservative, just move the ball downfield and work the clock, which started off well, but on 1st and 10 we threw a sketchy pass, and that one was picked off by Jerome Baker, and it was his turn to get a pick 6 for the Dolphins as they brought it to a 1-possession lead, and when they went for it on their 2-point conversion, they once again found Tyreek Hill, and the score was 20-16. Back out on offense, we obviously needed some points, and that didn't start off well with Saquon getting dumped in the backfield, but luckily Mike Gesicki was able to make it a manageable 3rd and 1, which Saquon was able to convert. Then on 1st and 10, Jacoby Brissett kept this one on the read option and was able to make it 7 yards before sliding. Then on 2nd and 8, he found Daniel Bellinger over the middle, who turned upfield and was able to get it into the red zone, where we handed off to Saquon, who went up the middle to make it 1st and goal. And on 2nd and goal, got the handoff, was met by a wall, but got into the end zone to make the score 27-16. The Dolphins weren't going anywhere though, and they came out through the air, narrowly avoiding my user over the middle and moving down the field in a hurry. Then on 1st and 10, I thought I had Tyreek Hill smothered, but he was able to make this catch and get into the end zone to bring it to a 1-score game, and the Dolphins were still in this one. Fortunately, we were able to stop them on their 2-point conversion. Back out on offense though, we came out throwing and found Mike Gesicki over the middle before giving it to Saquon, who found huge holes and was really moving in the run game. He decided that he didn't want this game to be a nail-biter though, as he exploded through the hole and got into the end zone to restore our lead to 2 possessions. Approaching the 2-minute warning, the Dolphins offense came back out throwing, and on 2nd and 10, Desmond King II jumped this route and had another pick, which he would get a good block from Kayvon Thibodeau on and get another pick 6 on the day, which all but sealed this game. The Dolphins offense now came out down 3 possessions, and they were throwing the ball well, but on 1st and 10, I made a nice user pick with Xavier McKinney, and the football would go back to our offense. We started off with a nice pass, finding Darius Slayton down the sideline, but on 3rd and 10, I forced this ball, which was deflected and picked off by Xavier Howard. He then had a good return and nearly turned the corner, but was caught and pushed out by Saquon at the 40. The Dolphins' final drive wouldn't last long though, as Tua turned the ball over through another pick to Xavier McKinney, and we had the ball for our offense, and after running one last play with Saquon, we just milked the clock, got it to 0, and that is your ball game. The Giants beat the Dolphins by a final score of 41-22, thanks to another huge day from Saquon with 150 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, and thanks to Xavier McKinney's 2 interceptions, he is now officially a superstar, and the Giants are officially over 500 at 5-4. That's all I have for you in this episode, and I will see you guys next time.